My name is Stephanie Gates, and I am the director of the Baptist Student Ministry at the University of North Texas. And I want to give you an opportunity to hear about some of the great things that God's been doing on our campus through our ministry. This is my 10th school year at this campus serving with the BSM. And over the first 9 years, we've really been praying for opportunities to engage every population of student on our campus. One in particular that we really have struggled to figure out what ministry would look like with them have been the student athletes. And so as we've been praying for just an open door, the Lord just graciously provided some amazing opportunities. And it all started when Ashley Payne, a UNT swimmer, came and started to get involved in our ministry. And through her, we began to see the different opportunities that we could have.
Hi, my name is Ashley Payne, and I'm a swimmer at UNT, and the Lord really just constantly placed a desire in my life to impact my team in a different way. And this really began my junior year, and I decided that the best place to start was to get involved in the BSM, where I could have a group of people to encourage me and just teach me better how to be obedient to that calling. I was able to be placed in a ministry team called People Groups, where we really just got to meet each week and talk about how we were going to gauge the places that we were put. And this really just kind of started with me inviting my teammates to church and inviting them to the BSM. And finally someone said yes. So this is Sydney, and she's a swimmer at UNT. And basically I just want to ask what made you walk into the BSM?
Well, you kept inviting me. You were definitely persistent. You gave me a lot of opportunities to come, and so finally I was like, man, those girls keep asking me, so I'm going to say yes.
That's awesome. And so what was your first experience like?
The first time I came, we had a taco night and game night, and so I got to play some games with Stephanie and you, and we survived the weather and the tornadoes, so taco and tornadoes, and it was a lot of fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So what, after that experience, tacos and tornadoes, what made you want to come back?
It was really cool to see just a group of people who almost had a family bond and a connection that they just really cared about one another, and I had been missing that my freshman year. Hi guys, my name is Sydney Buckley, and I just wanted to share with you today a little bit about my story. And so growing up, I went to church on Christmas and Easter, but never really had a good example of a person who was really devoted to Christ, and just kind of had this relationship where, okay, yeah, I guess I'm a Christian, but not really living my life like it. So my freshman year and second semester, my cousin had introduced me to some sermons that he had gone to at his college, and I really liked them. I liked the pastors a lot. They were young, goofy, and athletic, which I could relate to. And then about the same time, Ashley Payne invited me to come to the BSM. And I just saw this group of people that just cared for one another, and I'd been missing that at college. So I decided to keep coming back. And just through seeing Ashley and Stephanie and the way that they treated me as a friend and almost a family member was really the reason I kept coming back. Stephanie had a really big impact on me my sophomore year. She invited me to do some discipleship and study the Bible with her, and so we're walking through the book of John right now, which has been awesome. And she also came to almost every single swim meet, whether that be in Houston, San Antonio, or even California. She made it out to San Diego to see some swims that don't even last for very long. But her main goal was to have a gospel conversation with us. And with me, that ended up happening, so that was pretty cool. So in February, we were reading through John, and I was doing my normal readings, and all of a sudden I saw this heading that said Jesus was arrested, and I just felt like, oh no, that is so sad, don't do that. And that's when I realized that, oh my gosh, I actually love this, and I love God, and I love Jesus. And so that was the real turning point for me, and where I basically said, I'm all in, let's go. So now that my life has been impacted, I want to follow in Ashley's footsteps as she graduates, and really just invite my teammates to come to the BSM or to come to church with me, and just to try and have gospel conversations with them and to get them hopefully to where I am and where Ashley is.
I love what this story represents. As the BSM, our mission is we want students to know God and to make Him known. Ashley's desire was, okay, Jesus is impacting my life and I want my team to know about God. Can you help me do that? So she goes and she invites Sydney. Sydney comes, and now we're seeing this transformation that's happening in her life as she's becoming a disciple as well. And so already Sydney's texting and inviting her teammates as she shared. That's what the BSM is. We want to help students know, what does it look like to have a relationship with Jesus? Then we also want to say it doesn't stop there. How are we going? How are we making the gospel known? What does it look like to have these gospel conversations? As a part of the BSM, we get to help train and equip and walk alongside these students as they do that. Another thing that I want to share with you real quickly that we've seen, especially with our student athletes, I've had the opportunity to build a relationship with a new UNT women's basketball coach. She's a believer. And we started talking about what her hopes were for her team. And she just said, Stephanie, I want them to not only be great players, but I want them to be great people. She wants them to become leaders. And from that, I was able to step in and to say, hey, we at the BSM, we do a leadership training called Habitudes. Would you be interested in me coming and doing that with your girls? Starting in January, I had the amazing opportunity to spend 13 weeks with our UNT women's basketball team. She gave me over an hour every Monday to go and invest in those girls. And from there, I've been able to start to have one-on-one conversations with these players. So already what we've been able to see is from this training, these students are starting to get to know me. I've been able to have many one-on-one conversations. I'm building relationships with them. And we've even seen Ashley and Sydney being able to step into those spaces as well with the basketball girls, where they're inviting them to crave as well. And so that's our hope, and our prayer has been to celebrate how God is moving on our campus. And we wanted to give you just a quick opportunity to hear about how lives are being changed in this one story with Sydney, but how it's not just stopping there. God is providing opportunities not only with our student athletes, but all across campus. Sydney's story is just one example of a student's life being changed by the gospel. We believe that college students have such a unique opportunity as they're figuring out life, they're figuring out their faith and what it is that they believe. And at the BSM, we just have such a great opportunity to step into that space, to live life with them, and to invest in such a way that they get an opportunity, as I said, to know God and to make Him known on campus.